Welcome to the Business of Platforms, a video podcast series where Vivaldi will be chatting with the world's leading marketers, thinkers, and innovators about the evolution of business and the exciting ways in which platforms are helping companies and brands deliver greater value.
Hello. Welcome. My name is Erich Joachimsthaler. I'm the founder and CEO of Vivaldi. Welcome to the Business of Platforms podcast. I'm here today with Alejandro Melamed. Alejandro is an internationally recognized lecturer and speaker about the future of work. So one more time, Alejandro, thank you for joining the podcast.
It's my pleasure. And honestly, I think that this conversation that we will have, it will be an opportunity for us to have all the ideas on the table and discuss them, because the theory is one thing, and when you try to put them on practice on the companies, they are totally different. So it's my pleasure.
Well, I have to say that I will have to learn a lot from you here. I read your book. The book is called, the latest book is called The Future of Work, or the work, and that really sort of should be the conversation for me, because I felt it touches on many of the areas that are commonly sort of in our mind about the future of work. And my question is, can you just summarize your motivation for writing that book in the first place? And what is sort of the major theme that I hope I captured it? I hope I caught it properly.
For sure. Yes. Yeah. My goal when I wrote this book was trying to understand what will happen with all the people that work today in different type of organizations in the near future. It's not the long future. Yes, it's not thinking in 30 years, 40 years, because the future for us is now in 5 years, 8 years, 10 years. So the main goal that I have when I started to write about this topic is trying to understand what are the main influences and the main impacts that we will have in the labor market, and what we as professionals can make to give to all the employees and to all the people that are in the labor market the different tools to equip them and to deal with the different challenges that we have in the future. So understanding what type of organizations we will have in the future, what type of works we will have in the future, and what type of capabilities we need to develop in our people trying to deal with the different challenges that we will have in the future.
I read in your book one of these things that the future is the exponential organization. And we are today already, many organizations are actually exponential. I assume that means applying exponential technologies and scaling in exponential ways. And I'm curious about it. Does that mean that the application of these exponential technologies like AI, ML, and maybe cloud computing, does that mean that also that the people are actually displaced by robots, by AI? Is our work fundamentally changing as companies evolve toward exponentiality?
Yes. Okay. My opinion in that sense is that we are starting a new era. The new era is the cobotization, is co-living the robots and the human being. Why? Because no robot has sense, no robot has feelings, no robot has dreams, no robot have the opportunity to deal with different things of their life. So I understand that the new way of working is trying to understand where the robots add value, where the artificial intelligence add value, and where the human being adds value. And I think that if we start thinking in that way, we can solve many of the problems, because many people feel fear of the robots. Okay, the robots come here and the robots will kill us and all the jobs will kill. No, I think that we are starting a new way of working where we will add artificial intelligence, we will add the new technologies, the new exponential technologies, and the human side, it will be more important than ever. But exponential organizations are those organizations that grow up with a speed so high that they grow at least 10 times than referring to the competence that they have. So if you think about Google, if you think about Netflix, if you think about Airbnb, they are companies that they break the rules of the market with breakthrough technologies, but not only technologies hard, they also include human technologies. And the most important is that the social logic that they have, they break the rules that we used to see in the market.
But Alejandro, I don't buy it, I must say. That's good talk. But if I'm at a call center in somewhere in a farm or in a big office with a cubicle, and I do customer service calls. Just the other day, I saw a video, a customer service interaction that was fully done with a robot. And they asked afterwards the person who called in for the service, and the person could not differentiate and know the difference between the robot, if you will, or the AI-enabled customer service, and could not differentiate between the human person. So if you tell me now that there will be still robots and humans, I can say in that case already, the person was totally eliminated. If I'm sitting in that cubicle, I know my job is gone. They don't need me anymore in another few years. That's also the reality. So there is a total displacement as well.
Yes, totally agree. And when you see that they are tasks that are repetitive and they are low human touch and low intellectual touch, so for sure, when the cost of the robot will be lower than the cost of the human, they will be replaced. However, there are a lot of new activities where the human touch is more and more important. Let me tell you a couple of examples. If you think on community managers, all the companies now have a community manager. A community manager is not a robot. It's a human being that works with Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, etc. If you ask me 5 years ago or 10 years ago, I have a job for you that you will work with LinkedIn, with Twitter, with Instagram, the answer for sure would be, okay, are you crazy? Are you paying me for that type of job? So now we have Instagrammers, we have a lot of people that work a lot for mobile technologies and starting to work with this type of technologies. And all around the world, we have now a lot of open positions in almost all the companies. But what is the challenge that we have? We need to reskill these people that work, for example, in the call center, because for sure these type of jobs will be eliminated. But if we reskill these people, if we retrain these people, and we build new capabilities, for sure they will do a lot of great jobs in the future.
I can proactively, as a person, can say, there are ways I need to change, but there are opportunities for me as much as there are things to be concerned about, right?
Yes, for sure. But as well as, I think that there is a big responsibility on the companies. And now we need to put the discussion in the right place. I think that a lot of times we discuss about employees. Yes, okay, what will happen with these employees, etc., etc. I think that we need to think about on the people and not on the employment. And the new word that we need to start discussing is employability. Employability is the ability to have employment today, tomorrow, 5 years, 10 years, etc. So I think that the big challenge that all the companies have now is how to start thinking in the new social responsibility. The new social responsibility is the technological and the employability responsibility. And responsibility is the ability to respond. It's not only that I am aware about that. I am aware and I act to reskill, to build the capabilities, the knowledge, the skills, the attitudes in my employees. So I pay attention on the person and not on the employment. It's better because I develop people for the world. I develop people for the future. So we need to start thinking on employability, the ability to have employment today, tomorrow, 5 years, and 10 years.
Oh, and I like this concept of employability. It employs for the employee. I am not, as an employee, I say it's not about my job, my employment. It's about am I employable? What is my level of employability? And it's from the employer side. In your chapter 3 of your book, you wrote about 4 kinds of work in the future. And the one that I was very interested in is you said there is a rise of the uber empowered employee that doesn't work, that even doesn't have a job, that doesn't even work at your office, that works remotely in flexible employment contracts, that's sort of one of those four kinds of jobs.
Yes, for sure. And now we are seeing a lot of examples all around the world of people working in that sense. However, we need to pay attention of what kind of social services we will offer to these people. Because for sure, we are starting a new era of self-employment. Yes, I am employee of my own company and I offer services. To make the difference, we work in the companies for the last 100 years. Now we will start working for the companies. Oh. What is the main difference? I am my own employer. However, I offer my services for different companies when they need my service. However, let me tell you, we need to think that we will have many jobs and many professions during our life. So the new concept is lifelong employability. And for having lifelong employability, we need to start thinking on lifelong learning. When I started in the university, when I started to learn in the university, I thought that I will have only one career all my life. However, I will have many careers along my life, my working life, because many times I will change my job and my profession. Actually, now I am doing things that they were not invented when I learned. And now the many universities are telling that one student, when he's in the last year of the university, the things that he started to learn in the first year, they are dead. So we need to learn many times during our lives. So 2 concepts: lifelong learning, lifelong employability. We need to start thinking in that sense. And the responsibility of the companies is to give the opportunities to the employees to reskilling during the whole life.
Well, I'm a small business owner. I run Vivaldi. We are 100 consultants in various offices. I have a problem with the whole thesis of lifelong learning and this many changing jobs, because in my world, in order to be a professional, a consultant, let's say, it takes many years of training, and it takes many years, and most of our training is very human-centered. That means next to each other. Now, how do you, Alejandro, explain me, how can you build a culture and maintain, there's a culture, we call it the Vivaldians, the way we work. How can you build a culture when people don't work remote, when they don't even have employment contracts, they have a flexible contract, they are free agents. When they get bored after 1 year of working, and in my profession to become a partner at Vivaldi, it takes 8 to 10 years.
Yes, I think that the great change that we are having now is mindset change. Why? The old mindset is that we need to work all the time in the same place together to build a culture. But now the new word, the most important word in the companies is agility. Mindset agility, learning agility, structure agility, place agility. Yes, so we need the agility to build. But when you think how to recruit people to work with you, how to build the teams, the most important topic to pay attention now and to focus is values. Yes.
Oh.
When you share values, you share the most important thing that you have, that is the willingness to work together. So when you select people, you need to pay attention on that. And when you build your culture, you need to define what are the values that will be important for your company.
Wow.
In that sense, yes. But in that sense, yes, come in.
Yeah, but that is so interesting because I come maybe from that old school, let's say, because until now, we've been recruiting primarily for the job itself. We say we hire a person for that, with that capability, that education, that skill set for that job. Now, what you say, Alejandro, is, and then we said, okay, does the person fit to the company? But primarily, we hire job specific. So the future is not hiring based on values first. And then the job, they will be flexible, they will be assigned.
Why? Because you recruit people that you don't know what will be the job that they will have in 2 years or 3 years.
Exactly.
So the problem of the big, but there is another thing that is important. When you and myself started to work, almost all the people said the big companies eat the small companies.
Yes.
Now the agile companies eat the elephant companies.
I see.
So the big issue that we have now in the companies is how to move the elephant, how to make the things happen. And in that sense, agility is the word. The biggest challenge that almost all the big companies have now is how to change mindset.
Yes.
Transformation and digital transformation, it's not doing digital, it's being digital. And what I observe in almost all the companies where I work, and I work for the most important companies in all Latin America, I observe that they try to make digital, instead try to be digital. And to be digital, again, is a thing of mindset. How you approach to the different topics and what is your point of view regarding each of the topics. So being digital is being diverse, being digital is being agile, being digital is being mobile, being digital is being flexible, and being digital is the willingness to adopt new technologies when they appear. Do you know what? My opinion is that now we are almost exactly in the same situation than 12 years ago, when we didn't have any one smartphone in the world. Now, nobody thinks without the smartphone. However, 12 years ago, it didn't exist. So now we are maybe in the pre-time, yes, starting the new time of new technologies that we don't know what we don't know, yes, because they will appear in the near future.
So does that mean that the task, the challenge as a leader is to communicate, to motivate, to inspire them, and use these new technologies. Can you give me some examples of the kind of things that I can do?
Yes. Okay, let me give you one example. Yes. For example, Netflix. Yes.
Yes.
It's an excellent example. Netflix defined that they need to change the culture to change how they work and how they connect with the community. And for example, Netflix gives to all the employees, their employees, the possibility to choose how many days of vacations they will take. Okay. So in a traditional company, it will be a mess. Oh no, how? Oh, no. So they say, these are your goals. You need to achieve these goals in this framework of time. So this is your challenge, not my challenge. And this is your responsibility. So I think that the new way of working is starting to think in a different manner, to think in a different mood, yes, and start thinking that we collaborate. And the word, the most important word now is that we need to build an ecosystem. Ecosystem is that almost all the company are different parts, interconnected and interdependent. The most important word is interdependency. What is? This is not dependency that I depend on you. This is not independency. This is interdependency. We are all connected. So you need to understand that you can work in your home. You can work in any Starbucks where you want. However, if I need you, if I need something that you add value to that, we need to be together. So nevertheless, where will be? Maybe in the bar, maybe in Starbucks, your home, but we need to connect. So technology, we need to understand it's not the goal, it's the enabler. The technology is the bridge to connect one person with another person. So my opinion is, as the technology grows and grows and grows up, the influence of the human being grows up.
And I understand now, in your example, Netflix, you set the goal for the employee, let's say, instead of setting the process, the way they do the job, where they do the job, how they collaborate with others. That is something that is open and free, that is flexible, that is agile. And instead of worrying, you're here from 8 to 5, or our job works when we are working from that time to that time, you set the goals. And if they can finish a job, if they do it in a vacation spot, if they can take more vacation than others, that is up to the employee rather than for me as an employer to prescribe it. So technology, I think the operating word is enables. But technology enables the future of work in some ways.
For sure. Yeah. With only one thing that I can add to your words. This is not that I set your goals. We set together your goals.
I see.
Collaboration is that we set together. And this is the what. And the how, the only thing that we need to agree from scratch is the values. But you are your job crafter. Yes, because you are the best person to craft your job. And another thing that we need to pay attention is that the new word that we need to start using is experiences. The new generations are looking for new type of experiences all the time. The old word was development, career. For them, it's not career, it's not development. It's how can I achieve more and more experiences, because I grow up when I have more and more experiences. So it's not an experience of 2 years. I need an experience of 1 month, of 3 weeks. After that, another experience. So I feel motivated when I have more and more experiences. So when you want to build a culture of your company, try to build more experiences. And do you know what? Experiences together, because culture is a word that, what is the meaning? Culture is what happens in the day-to-day in the company.
Yes.
This is the real culture. Not only that, I can tell you that culture is what happens when the boss is not in the office. This is the real culture of the company.
Experiences when the boss is not around, let's say. That is a very interesting question. Now I understand. When I read your book, the one question that got into my head is if the future of work is so different, and if these new jobs emerge that we don't even know that the names or what they are like, how do I prepare myself for that? And what can I do, or what can an employer do to prepare for a job that doesn't exist? And now I think you have given me an answer here, and that is, I need to create experiences for employees so that they, so that they develop and grow in that organ. There needs to be a diversity of these experiences in order for them to, I think, to develop into there's almost like that develops an agility of the employee to assume a future job whenever it becomes the norm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think that there is a new capability that is critical for the company. Learn to learn.
Yes.
What means learn to learn?
Yes.
Because we don't know what we'll need to use in the future. The most important is the capacity to learn very fast, to adopt the new technologies and the new challenges that we will have. So when you start thinking on the training and development and of the learning process of the people, I think that there are two types of skills that we need to develop. In one side, what they are called the hard skills, yes, and this is what is called STEM. It is science, technology, engineering, and math. But on the other side, we need to start in two things. The first thing is empathy. Empathy is emotional intelligence, because as the technology impacts on the world of the business, on all the business, we need to start thinking that the empathy is more and more critical, as well as we need to develop on the people arts, because we need to develop the other side of the minds of our people. So it's called now STEAM, yes, science, technology, engineer, arts, and maths. So altogether is the new learning plan for the companies. So with all of these condiments, we can build the employability of our people, and they will start learn to learn.
If that also is related to recruiting, then who I recruit. In order for somebody to be a learner, I need somebody that needs to be motivated and has an aspiration. So when somebody says, give me a new job, it isn't really negative. It actually is positive. It's somebody so curiosity.
And this is the difference between a learner and a knower. We used to recruit knowers. What is a knower? A person who knows everything. In the university, all the topics, 10, everything is okay. All the jobs, he was the best, he or she was the... So for now, it's not the right answer. We need people that are humble, that have curiosity, and not only that, we need people that have the willingness to learn more and more and more, and to have the capacity to adapt to different type of environments, contexts.
You have this, what you say, Alejandro, you have this wonderful quote from Albert Einstein in your book, in one of the chapters, and it's in Spanish written, so I need to translate it. It says, education is the thing that remains after you have forgotten everything that you learned in school.
Yes, and do you know what? There is one. I was in the MIT with Professor Joseph Ayun. Joseph Ayun is an excellent. He's the president of Northeastern University, and he wrote the book Robot Proof. And he says that he doesn't understand why, but all the students, they study only for the exams. When they finish the exams, they don't remember anything from the topics that they learned. So I think that we need to change an education. I agree totally with Albert Einstein, but not only that, I think that we need to change the way we educate our pupils. Yes, I think that we need to offer experiences where you really, really learn new things, but not only data, etc. We are a new era now where data, we have infoxication. Yes, we have information in almost all the places. However, we are in a moment where the student knows more than the teacher. So we need to build a new contract. What will be education in this world where with only one click you access to all the information that you need? Not only that, in a world where when you type in Google, you think that what Google says is the truth. Yes, and not necessarily it's a truth. Yes, we need to develop also critical thinking, and this is very, very important in our world.
And that question relates, in your book, you talk about the new generations. So the new generations now is, let's call it in the workforce, is Generation Z, 19 years old, younger. They are now entering the workforce. There is this understanding that they all want to know about the purpose and the meaning of work. They don't just come anymore for a job. Exactly. Now, what do you, so the why the meaning of work? So what can you do as a company in order to build a purpose? If you're just an ordinary business to make money and to live a life, if you will, what can you do in order to build a purpose, to build meaning, so that attracts this new generation and makes them comfortable at work?
Yes, I think that the problem of many companies that they have a real goal, and after that they build the purpose. So the process is the other way around. When you have a purpose, after that you have goals. So I think that you need to ask yourself, why do you exist in this world? I am sure that you are not only the CEO of a company, a consulting firm, etc. I am sure that you want to help companies to grow up, to make a difference, etc., etc. So I think that you need to discover what is your real purpose in the world, and this is organizational as well as personal. Why do you exist? Why do you are here in the world? And this is a very, very difficult question to answer, because this is not only that in 1 minute I can answer. This is a process where I need to reflect, where I need to think very, very proud. Okay, what is my real goal in the world? So the problem that I am observing in many companies is the same problem that I observed when they started to work in social responsibility. Okay, let's make this help in this hospital. Let's make, no. You need to connect your aspiration as a company with the different actions. Why? Because if not, in the long term, the people will discover that you are only putting here a mascara, yes, and telling, okay, I do this, but they will not believe on you. So I think that this is a very, very, very important topic to understand. And for example, what happens to me is that I observe that there are many companies that they say, okay, I do this, but the real reason of their existence in the world, it's only to make money. So if you are only to make money, forget to speak about purpose and start speaking, okay, this is what I am. So don't be uh, uh, don't be nervous if you don't recruit, said, or the new generations, because they don't like to work in companies. Why? Again, we come back, values. Yes, the
Yes.
values are the foundation of the company, and the
Yes.
purpose needs to connect with the values that you have. This is
Oh.
altogether the real core of a company, the real core of organization.
I love this. The purpose needs to connect to the values. And you said something very profound, because it is the values that make up your company. How powerful is it?
Exactly. And the
Wow.
values and the purpose is what connects your company, your brands, your customers, your employees. All
Yes.
the ecosystem is connected,
Yes.
but the core of this is your purpose and your values. When you connect with your purpose and your values with all the ecosystem, so after that, you understand, okay, the technology only gives me the opportunity to connect better with all the stakeholders. But this is not a technology problem. This is a human being a problem. So again, as the technology increases the influence in the business, as the digital transformation increases the influence in the business, the human touch, the human side of the company is more and more important. So if you ask me, please don't think about technology if you don't think about people. People and human being is the core of your business. The rest only, okay, it's there.
The people is the future of work. And I mean, that is such an amazing conclusion. I am with Alejandro. Alejandro Melamed. We have discussed his book, The Future of Work, and you want to read a book that inspired me for this conversation and way beyond this conversation. It inspires me to go back to the office and literally work on so many lessons we just shared to our viewers and our listeners. I think this is a valuable book. It is available on Amazon. It's one of the best-selling books right now in future about the future of work. Thank you so much, Alejandro. Enjoy the day, and it's been a wonderful conversation. Bye-bye.